Now we are joined by Defence Analyst Air Marshal Retired Masood Akhtar for more on this. Now, thank you very much, Mr. Masood, for joining us on Indus News. Mr. Masood, what were the reasons behind Pakistan Air Force's total dominance against their Indian rivals in the 1965 war?
I am an Air Blue warrior. I take pride in this. 65 war, 6th and 7th of September, especially 7th of September was a red letter day for us. We dominated the skies across the border, and the reason was training, belief, and the fact that we knew we are fighting with our backs to the walls with an enemy which is much bigger. And I think the mood was set when late Rafiqi and Imtiaz Bhatti Saab shot 4 vampires on the 1st of September over River Tavi around Chamjodiya, when their air chief was flying low level in an L-19 to see where the enemy and the Pakistani armor were fighting bumper to bumper, so that tomorrow when the war is declared and we have to go and support them, what do we do? So when we shot 4 vampires, we set the writing in the wall, and that was that Pakistan Air Force is not to be tinkered with. And they withdrew all their Oregons and all their vampire force after this incident, and that was almost 1/4 of their total strength. So that was the kind of dominance that Pakistan Air Force brought about. Leadership number 1, training number 2, belief number 3, and number 4, that we knew that we are fighting with our backs to the walls.
And Mr. Masood, how do you weigh the air combat capabilities of the two countries now?
Well, today we can match, and 27th February last year showed that this Air Force still has the capacity to stand its own ground, exactly like 65, like 71, like it happened in Kargil, like it happened against a different enemy during the Afghan war. So not only that we can stand on our own, we can take the war to the enemy, and like the present Air Chief, he said that next time the enemy should not misunderstand us. Our response is not going to be calibrated, it is not going to be graduated, it is not going to be proportionate. And what he was trying to say was, we have the capacity to do more than what we did on 27th. We may have the BVRs, the Indians may have gotten the Rafales, they may get the Meteors. We have parallel quality, we may not have the quantity. We may be 1/3, if maybe a little more, a little less than half of what the Indian Air Force frontline capability is. But we chose last time on 27th of February that we are not going to do anything more than proportionate, calibrated, and graduated response, so that there are no chances of escalation of war. Because when you employ air power across the border, escalation ladder can go out of the control of both the political leadership. That could have happened. We gave a message, we re-established deterrence in broad daylight. And Shekhar Gupta of the Print and Praveen Swani, they actually said this, that they violated our borders at night. We did this in broad daylight to say that we can do it, and Indians did not dare retaliate after that. They threatened missile attacks, but not employ air power after that. So in quality, we are almost as good. They may be getting the Meteors, etc., but our leadership is fully cognizant as to what is to be done. So even today, we have got quality, quantity relatively, but we have training, we have belief, we have leadership. We know that we are going to fight outnumbered, but more importantly, our Air Force is a battle-hardened Air Force after having fought successfully the counterinsurgency war.
Right, absolutely correct. Air Marshal Retired Masood Akhtar, thank you very much for talking to Indus News.